Hi, welcome to Math After Hours with Miss Austin. I'm Miss Austin, a licensed math teacher here to help you with all of your math questions. Today I'm going to show you how to do polynomial long division. Now before I actually do an example of that, I'm going to do a quick example with whole numbers because my guess is you probably haven't done that since second grade. That's what my students always say. They're like, I knew how to do that at one point, but not anymore. So we're going to start with that because the process is very similar. And the reason why we do polynomial long division is then when we get to solving polynomials, it's a way of finding our zeros. Okay, so let's jump in. The first example, like I said, we're just going to do division with whole numbers so we can kind of remind ourselves of the process. So we're doing 465 divided by 11. So we're going to set it up like this. The first thing I want to do is figure out how many times can 11 go into 4. 11 can't go into 4. So that means we need to look at 46 instead. How many times can 11 go into 46? Well, it can go into 46 4 times. Now we do 4 times 11. So if we do 4 times 11, we get 44. And then we find the difference between those two. 46 minus 44 is 2. Then, since 11 cannot go into 2, we would bring down the 5. How many times does 11 go into 25? Twice. So 2 times 11 is 22. Find the difference. And your remainder is 3. There are 2 ways to write your answer depending on how your teacher would like it. You can write it as 42, remainder 3, or you can write your remainder as a fraction, 42 plus 3 over 11, because that's really what's left. 11 doesn't go into 3, so 3/11 is what we have left. Okay, this process right here is the same thing with polynomial long division. So now we're going to get over to that example. So we have 4x cubed minus 3x squared plus x minus 1 divided by x minus 2. So I'm going to set it up the same way, x minus 2 on the outside. And then we have 4x cubed minus 3x squared plus x minus 1 on the inside. Okay. And this is the part that I always got confused about. I remember in high school when I first learned this, I was like, what is going on? I have no idea what's going on. So, your first step, I just want you to focus on the x on the outside. Pretend the minus 2 isn't there. We'll take care of that in just a second. Focus on the x and what you would have to multiply that x by to get 4x cubed. So off to the side here, I'll write that. X times what would give us a 4x cubed? Well, we would need to multiply by a 4 and 2 more x's, and that's going to be our first term on the top. So then, what did we do with the long division with whole numbers? Well, the next thing we did was we multiplied these 2 things together, so that's exactly what we're going to do here. We will do 4x squared times x minus 2 to give us 4x cubed minus 8x squared. Then what did we do? The long division with whole numbers, what did we do next? We subtracted. You have to be careful here though because you have 2 terms. So what you want to do is you'll just change the sign of both the terms here and add. These 2 should always cancel out because you set it up that way. So then we have 8x squared and a negative 3x squared. So that gives us 5x squared. And then we're going to bring down the next term, the plus x. However many terms you have out here, that's how many terms you're looking at in here. So we have an x and a minus 2, so we want to look at the 5x squared and the plus x. Now if you understand everything we've done up to this point, you can do it. Because through this point, you're just repeating the same process again until you have no numbers left to bring down. So now we're focusing on x again, and what we multiply x by to get 5x squared. So x times what would give us 5x squared? Well, we would need a 5, and we'd need an x, right? Because I want to make it an x squared. So now I'll multiply 5x by x minus 2. So that would be 5x squared minus 10x. And then we subtracted, but here we're just going to change both the signs of these terms and add. So we have 11x, then I'll bring down minus 1. Okay, so then this last step, get rid of this weird circle here, we're figuring out what we would multiply x by to get 11x. So x multiplied by what would give us 11x? Well, just an 11. 11 times x will give us 11x. So this 11 times x minus 2 is 11x minus 22. Change both of these signs and add. And we're left with 21. X will not be able to turn into a 21. Nothing you multiply x by would give you 21. So that is your remainder. And you can write your answer two ways, just like on the previous example with whole numbers I did. So we could do 4x squared plus 5x plus 11, remainder 21. Or we could write the remainder as a fraction. We could write this as 4x squared plus 5x plus 11 plus 21 over x minus 2. And that is polynomial long division for you. So hopefully it wasn't quite as bad as you were thinking. If you have any problems you would like me to do, please put them in the comments below and I will try to get to them. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe.